to the Coach Andy Cavins Show. I'm Chris Wells, sitting alongside Coach Andy Cavins, the head volleyball coach here at Lindsey Wilson College. And Coach, you were hired in January, late January, 7 months later. Tell me about what you've been doing. We know a little bit. Obviously, you've been on the recruiting trail, but talk a little bit about the 7 months leading up to we're on the eve of your first game.
Well, the biggest thing, obviously, just getting acclimated to the area. Obviously, the transition was sizable, to say the least, moving here from Texas. But the biggest thing myself and my assistant, Marcy Robbins, have been doing is just really getting top-level recruits in here, girls that buy into our mission as a team and as the college, and just really executing our plan to be a successful team in the conference. And that's really been our biggest goal. And I think we've definitely taken a step in the right direction. Working with the returners this past spring has been a great step for them to understand what I expect and be leaders within the freshmen and the transfers.
Obviously, the freshmen were here in the spring, but talk a little bit about it. Do you see a dramatic improvement from what you saw when you first arrived in the spring with spring ball and what you see now leading up to the first game?
No question. It's a night and day difference with some of our returners. That's really just understanding, getting that love and passion back for volleyball, but more importantly, just having the right mental state to be successful in the conference. All of them really worked hard this spring. We had a lot of success in our spring tournament and even facing Austin Peay. But more specifically, just the physical fitness factor has been a huge transition for them. I really stepped forward in a much better shape than they were when I first arrived, and I can't be any happier with their progression.
So many new faces to go along with those
Definitely.
Veterans. Talk a little bit about your first recruiting class here at Lindsey Wilson.
Well, as a class, like I said, that we're very proud of. We've definitely put a lot of time into it, and something that myself and Marcy really take a lot of pride in. First off, we have our 2 junior college transfers. Alex Kisby came from Frank Phillips Junior College, and then Alyssa Cuthbert coming from Schoolcraft College. Alyssa is a setter, and Alex is an outside DS. Both of them have been fantastic in the preseason. They, again, came with that right mindset to be not only in great shape, but just really step in and make an instant impact. Alex has the ability to really take over a match. She had a little injury problems in the first week of preseason, but she's healed now and she's ready to go for tomorrow night. And I expect a lot of things out of her. And she's really the kind of person that if I need a whole field, she can fill it without any problems. Alyssa, definitely challenging our returning junior Andrea Taylor for the setting position, and we expect her to continue to do so throughout the season. We also have the 4 freshmen. And they're interesting to say the least, but we love them. We have the 2 Texas girls, Sarah Anderson and Sierra Wilkerson. We have our DS outside from Illinois, Kirsten King, and then our outside hitter right side from Indiana and Taylor Haney. The 2 Texas girls, Sarah Anderson's a right side. She's a player I've known for quite a while. She's obviously our biggest athlete and just comes from a very successful club and high school programs. And I expect her to be on the right side for the next 4 years and just only to get better. I think she can succeed with the best athletes in the conference, and I expect that from her. Sierra Wilkerson, also from Dallas. She's a middle, very athletic, really great jumper. Definitely needs to put on a little more physical presence, but within that, she's still a very successful middle, and we expect her to start and make a huge impact from the moment she gets on the court. The 2 outsides, Kirsten King from Illinois, very strong defensive presence, a really, really good athletic leaper. We've been beyond expectations of what we expected in the preseason, and she's really delivered, and her teammates really respect her, and that's all we could ask for. Taylor Haney from Indiana comes from Circle City Volleyball Club. All 3 of her sisters have played collegiate volleyball as well. It's definitely something that's in the family, and she's going to be definitely one of our impact players on the outside. Big physical player, and we expect big things out of all 4 of them.
Now, you've been in school. Classes have started last week, so you've been in classes for a full week. But prior to that, you spent 2 weeks on campus. I guess you guys are ready to get in and get some competition other than yourself. Training camp, it's been kind of long.
Definitely. I mean, coming in on the 5th and then obviously our first match tomorrow, that's a big, big time period. Obviously, there's a lot to work on, really building that chemistry and coming together as a unit. But they're definitely chomping at the bit to get into a match. I know they're tired of me working on the same things every single day. So we've been scrimmaging quite a bit, and having such a talented team top to bottom really enables us to look at multiple lineups, which is a huge thing for me. But that being said, they're challenged at all times. There's never a break, never a lapse in talent. So with the returners mixing in with the new kids, I've really seen a lot of talent, and we expect really high things for this season. Definitely learned a lot in preseason. They got through the soreness, so they're ready to go, and I'm excited.
So we're on the eve of IU Southeast. You go up to New Albany tomorrow night, 6 o'clock. Give us a little rundown of what you anticipate from your standpoint and from IU Southeast.
Well, IU Southeast, that's a rivalry that's obviously existed well before my time. A team that we usually play every year, and it's usually been a pretty even battle, something that's usually been splits between the two teams, and we expect to go out there. IU Southeast has already had 4 matches, so they've kind of had a chance to get some of that rust off. So hopefully that we can go out and just really hit the ground running and just inflict our will upon them. That's really what we're looking to do, is just play our game and not worry really so much about what they're going to do, but utilize our athleticism and just our overall talent to come out of there with a win. IU Southeast is going to really have a lot of players that are young just like we are, and that I think is going to be a good challenge for us, is who's going to step up to really take over the match. We hope to use a bunch of different lineups tomorrow just to really kind of see what we have in that true game setting to give us a better picture of who's going to be the impact players for us this season. But it's a great warm-up, and I'm excited about it.
Finally, Coach, give us some goals. What are the goals for Lindsey Wilson Volleyball in 2011?
Well, personally and just from the team, we have very high goals. We expect to be competing within the conference to bring home a conference championship. I know some people might think that's a little high for obviously a team my first year, but that's something that we think with these new players and the way the returners have responded that it can be accomplished, and that's something that's very attainable for us. Personally, I want to see the girls succeed in the classroom as well. We kind of hope to have the highest female team GPA on campus and just be successful throughout the community as well. We really want to make an impact throughout the campus and the state, not just athletically, but wholeheartedly throughout the state.
Coach, congratulations on being hired number 1, your first season. Coming up starting tomorrow night at IU Southeast, and good luck all season long.
Appreciate it.
That's Andy Cavins, head volleyball coach here at Lindsey Wilson College. This reminder, Lindsey Wilson in action, their first game of the season tomorrow night, August 23rd, as they'll travel to New Albany, Indiana, to take on IU Southeast. That's a 6 o'clock start time, and then their first home game at Biggers Sports Center will be on Monday, August the 29th, as they play Bethel University, that too at 6 o'clock at Biggers Sports Center. For Andy Cavins, I'm Chris Wells. This has been the Coach Andy Cavins Show on the Lindsey Wilson Sports Network.